Crypto kids, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, Bitcoin is unfortunately not having its best of days. For the past couple of days, we've been consolidating and the Bollinger Bands have been squeezing. We've been kind of predicting a large move to come ahead. And following this bearish pennant, Bitcoin has broken down. And the levels that I'm expecting, I will get into in today's video. Of course, what we've been discussing in previous videos have come to reality. The 3 and 7 period moving averages have finally seen a crossover following a great weakness candle, a shooting star candle that we experienced last week after the Bitcoin spot ETF approvals. And this is not a good sign at all. That's why I'm expecting 37, 34K to be going all into my Bitcoin positions over on Bitflex. But I'll get into all of the details in the upcoming minutes, so make sure to stay tuned until the end of today's video. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to not miss out on crucial updates. We have the bearish news to go through, including GBTC's incredible amounts of Bitcoin outflows. But of course, we also have some bullish news to get through as well. And for all of that, like I mentioned, stay tuned until the end. But guys, I'm Crypto Kid, and let's jump straight in to the Bitcoin technical analysis. Now, going over into the Bitcoin shorter term time frame. Here we can see that Bitcoin just a couple of hours ago broke down from the support line of this bearish pennant. Now, the levels that I'm looking at in the immediate short term is between $40,200 to $40,750. At this point, we've seen multiple wicks come down to this range, find support, and shoot higher. So Bitcoin, if we see the move actually end up here, I think a possible consolidation is definitely a alternative on the table and probably even a short-term pump. But over in the macro sense, I think that it's not looking good, especially now with the confirmation of this 3 and 7 period moving average crossover, as throughout multiple times in history over on the weekly time frame, which is much more impactful compared to the daily time frame. Whenever we did see this crossover, Bitcoin had significant drops towards the downside. One of the most famous ones was at the top of the previous bull market. So even in the previous, even in the one before, right, in the first half of 2021, we saw this bearish crossover and we entered incredible bear markets. Like the one that we just tried to escape out of was the one that we entered. And here, even in these smaller pumps than retractions in price following up to the ETF approvals, we also saw these bearish crossovers that led to price moves down to the 25K line of support. And we're kind of seeing it again now. And that's why I think $34,000 is probably going to be my biggest inflection point. And it's going to be where I put most of my capital back into Bitcoin, going almost all in my portfolio. As we have the MRI line of support, we have the 30 period moving average coming back up to the 34K level. We can see that the 30 period moving average made incredible resistance for Bitcoin while we were having this relief rally in April of 2022. Bitcoin tested it perfectly and fell down by approximately 67%. So I think that the 30 period moving average this time is going to provide us good support like we did here too. And from that point, it is very much possible that Bitcoin can continue its rally. But guys, remember, nothing in this video is financial advice whatsoever. This is just my personal technical analysis. Always make sure to do your own research before trading or investing. It is super important. So 34K in summary, 34K, 37.9K. These are the points that I'm looking into for getting into Bitcoin. And we can see here over on Bitflex, these are my limit long positions. And if you are looking for a place to be trading Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, you can head over to the description of today's video to check out Bitflex and get up to $88,888 worth in prizes and bonuses. They also have this super cool thing going on in the Flex shop. You can scroll down and click Make Your Wish. And by clicking that, you'll be forwarded to this form where if you fill out which item in the Flex shop you want the most, you may get a chance of actually getting it once every month. There's going to be a new raffle, and in random, someone's wish is going to be granted. So make sure to check it out. I think it is a super cool, it's a super cool feature to give back to the trading community. But of course, the Bitcoin ETFs are getting butchered, and this is completely normal. And we do have some bearish news regarding GBTC, but I'll be showing you why in the macro you really shouldn't be worried and be excited on the other hand. Now, GBTC is seeing massive outflows. You can see here the total balance history is collapsing, like collapsing to actually we're at 2019 levels. You can see 4 hours ago a total of $42.5 million. 4 hours ago, $40 million. They're all going out of the Bitcoin Trust from Grayscale, the wallet that we can see here over on Arkham Intelligence. And the reason for this is there's massive outflows from GBTC, mostly putting into the current Bitcoin spot ETFs, as suggested by James Safeart, one of the Bloomberg brothers that have been guiding us regarding the TradeFi space in this Bitcoin ETF conundrum that we've been having for the past couple of weeks. So there's not much to worry. This capital is most likely flowing back into the other ETFs, such as BlackRock, which hit over $1 billion in AUM, assets under management. Then we have number 2, Fidelity, with $874 million. But you can see here that GBTC still has $24 billion under assets. And as this money keeps on shrinking, of course, not all of it's going to be recycled back into these ETFs. Some are going to be completely withdrawn from the market. But in the macro sense, in the next 2 years, I think eventually we'll be seeing much more of these AUMs and in iShares, in Fidelity, in Bitwise. And that's going to completely outscale what is currently in Grayscale. So I'm not too worried about this because I believe in Bitcoin in the long run, but this is bullish. Look, we can see another way to put the Bitcoin ETF flows in ETF context, besides showing their, I don't know what it is, relative to past new launches, it is how they stack up to all ETFs in the past 1 week flows. Even after 4 days, 2 of them are in the top 5 and 3 in the top 10 under the WStuds, VU, and QQQ, etc. So these guys are, of course, the most traded ETFs in the TradeFi space. And we can see that IBIT, FBTC, and BITB are in the top 10. And this, in my personal opinion, is incredibly bullish. And that's why I don't think there's anything to worry in the long term. Usually Bitcoin does tend to see these corrections coming up towards the halving, which is in approximately 100 days. And after the halving, Bitcoin does tend to skyrocket. Now, if we just jump quickly back into the charts, we can see that on the monthly chart, I mentioned in the previous video too, that the candle is not looking too great. And that's why it is possible that we see a small correction in the following month's candle. But after March, April, I do think that this parabola will continue rising. But yeah, that's kind of my perspective in terms of the Bitcoin TA. Do we have other news? We definitely do. And this is about the Coinbase and SEC court. So this has been a very hot topic yesterday on what's going on, but I didn't want to comment on it until we kind of finalize what's going on. And if you guys remember, just a couple of months ago, we had a kind of a trial with 13, I think it was 13 or 12 different tokens that the SEC was claiming they were securities. Solana, I think, Matic was one of them that were claimed as security. And we saw the court between Coinbase and SEC yesterday. And what basically happened in a massive summary is that the case got adjourned, meaning it's going to be postponed, and the court is going to give their decision within 2 to 6 weeks, according to journalist Eleanor Terrett. And within 2 to 6 weeks, it may be decided that, okay, these tokens are securities. And at that point, we may see altcoins see a major dump. And this is something we need to be on the lookout for. However, from my personal readings and summaries of what happened yesterday, I think the court was pretty bullish and we're on Coinbase's side rather than the SEC's. So if that turns out to be true, then we may be seeing massive pumps on these altcoins. But if not, I think the dump would be harder than how much we would actually potentially pump. So the court apparently said that we've had a good run. We've had 90 years where these security laws have been able to apply to these markets, but now we have something new. And that's just incredible. So this is from actually Senator Cynthia Loomis. And I honestly completely agree with this. I mean, it's super hard to classify cryptos as securities. I definitely think that some may fall into that category, but this is a completely new asset class that needs to be treated completely differently. And I don't think traditional tests such as the Howey test actually applies to crypto. And that's why we need to create a new kind of ruling structure to it. And once that comes around, I think it's going to mark crypto as this incredibly now open to institutional investment and matured asset class that will just keep on rising in popularity in these upcoming months and years. And we can see that the total liquidity, as I mentioned, over at $34,000 has risen to $5 billion. And that's why it is very much possible that Bitcoin is attracted to this level to collect liquidity and then continue rising after the Bitcoin halving. And what else do we got? Yes, we went through the ETF stuff, but in terms of the final news to go through, former President Donald Trump says that he will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency if elected in 2024, which is of course super bullish for many reasons that we could go on for hours on this video. But just to keep it simple, we're opposing CBDCs because it's completely against what Bitcoin stands for. And that's why this is super bullish. And Cantor Fitzgerald CEO says that when the halving comes, Bitcoin will rally. And Cantor Fitzgerald is a company set up in like 1945. They're super famous in multiple things in terms of the finance world. And they also gave bullish predictions about USDT, and that a lot of their assets, which they claim I think is 80 billion in cash and 80 billion in liabilities, is most likely there. So that's very good for USDT. In terms of news, that such a big company is now vouching for them. And finally, Franklin Templeton, the company that has over, or the institution that has over 1.5 trillion in, I think it's 1.5 trillion in assets under management, has started tweeting about Bitcoin and crypto and put laser eyes on their profile picture, saying that you are unsure how to feel about laser eye Ben Franklin. Just think instead of Ben with hat. I don't know what that is. But they also said that the digital assets research team has taken over the Twitter, and that's why we're seeing things like this. But I think that's super funny that a institution with over $1 trillion is tweeting stuff like that. I think it's super bullish for the industry. But ladies and gents, that summarizes the video for today. Let's jump back quickly into Bitcoin and see if there's anything happening. Yeah, the monthly candle doesn't look too great, and it is possible that Bitcoin tests this $40,000 areas. And yeah, if anything crazy happens, I'll be updating you firstly on my Telegram channel. So definitely check that out. It's completely for free, just for my community and for me to be able to, write things in when I can't make a video. And of course, follow me on Twitter for breaking news. But ladies and gents, that summarizes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. And yeah, take care. I'll see you all soon. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.